Welcome back to the Tobin Gregory Group Show. We're glad you're here. I think we had a week off last week, Craig, and we're heading into the holidays here, so I know we're going to be kind of MIA for a little bit. So we don't plan on filling this time with just junk or anything like that, just to make up for the last week and go into holidays. But wish everybody happy, merry everything, no matter what you're celebrating. And
Yes.
Again, we're glad you're here. So, Craig. Not starting off with mortgage stuff. Talk to me about your poker face, man. You had some pretty cool stuff happen recently, right?
I did. So I entered a World Series of Poker event in Baltimore at the Horseshoe this past weekend. It was a qualifier to see if you win a seat at the $1,700 buy-in tournament for February. I won the seat because I guess I'm as good at poker as I am at mortgages.
And won the seat. You came in first place out of everybody else that was there, right? Like you won the
Yeah.
tournament.
So at this point now, the end of February, I'm in a 3-day World Series of Poker event in Baltimore. I believe we're playing for $500,000, which is good because that could help upgrade my wall decor since, I got some Dallas Cowboys stuff on here that has to go. Fire sale. It's exciting. I am going to be playing in the main event of poker in Las Vegas in July. More to come on that as we get closer. I know you guys don't care about that as much, although I do, because if I do win that event, it's $10 million or so, and you may see a different kind of podcast. I mean, who knows?
We'll be doing it from the boat.
Yeah, I mean, then when the Fed announces rate cuts or not, I'll just be the one lending everyone money. It won't matter.
Right.
Which leads us into the Fed rate cut potentially today or tomorrow. They're leaning towards lowering the Fed rate, which once again means absolutely nothing for us in mortgage. If you happen to have a HELOC, wonderful. Your HELOC rate might go down 0.5%. If you happen to own a bank, your bank-to-bank lending is probably going to go down as well. So good for you owning a bank. But as far as mortgages go, please don't call your mortgage guy or gal and say, hey, I heard the Fed rate's going down to zero, so lend me money at zero. It's not happening.
Look, let me put a caveat there. No matter what happens with the Fed rate cut, if you're interested in rates and true information, call Craig or call myself because we can do a soft credit pool and tell you exactly what to expect and where rates really are. And to jump off of the Fed rate cut that Craig was talking about, it does not directly impact rates, but the effects that it can have within markets is what impacts rates because it makes the money that banks lend to each other on cheaper. So when that happens and when interest rates go down elsewhere and people start spending more money and money's flowing more freely, that's when we do see the MBS react in a way that can lower interest rates. So there's not a direct impact, but depending on how consumers and the general public react to that rate and spend money is what will ultimately impact the MBS and our rates within the mortgage side of things. So,
and the other reason you want to reach out to us to get a rate check is so a lot of people right now, they're like, oh, I got a 750. Oh, who told you that? Credit Karma. So I had a borrower last week, true story. My scores are in the mid sevens, maybe 740 to 750. Where'd you find out? Oh, Credit Karma. And I said, okay. And they said, we also have Experian, and it says 760 on that. And I said, okay, how about we do a soft check and take a look and see what your actual credit score is that we care about because lenders have different analytics for scores. And it turned out he had a 798. So in not all instances is Credit Karma going to be overestimating. Sometimes they're underestimating. I found the range of typically 100 points low or high on Credit Karma. So it's really not a good gauge other than you feel good about it because you see the number. But in this case, they were in the top tier for credit. So they ended up not having to deal with any of the loan level price adjustments. So it was actually a feel-good story because his credit was 40 points higher than Credit Karma said. They're just, Credit Karma is not pulling your credit. They're using analytics and past credit, and they're using your histories and how you're trending for buying stuff and whatnot and paying off debt over time. They purchased at some point an old credit report or something, and they're building off of that. and everyone thinks that that's gospel, but it is not. So very important. Check with one of us, someone that knows what they're doing, and we could tell you what your real score is. With the anticipation of the Fed rates and everything else, and the holidays coming up, and the change of guard with president, and everything else coming up in January, there's just so many unknowns right now. As we tell people all the time, if you find that house and it's in your budget currently, get the house, refi later, because you will start seeing. I believe in the spring, from what everyone is saying, and activity picks up and rates come down. You're going to see 3 times as many competitors out there when you're looking to buy that house. And then you're going to see the overbidding on homes again. And it's already started, actually. Some realtors are using this as a gauge to lower the price on the listing and get a bidding war going. And it's, I've already seen it. Couple buyers of mine lost out by almost $100,000 on their list price offer because people knew and they researched and said, well, this home is worth way more than what it's listed at. And the realtor's just trying to drive up the price by doing a low bid. So these are important things to know. Make sure you're in touch with a great realtor as well. Jake and I have a ton of realtor partners to help you if you don't have one yourself.
Yep. And I want to touch on one other thing, Craig, when it comes to the soft pull, specifically with credit, because that's the one barrier that I think everyone freaks out about. First and foremost, I don't care where your credit is. If you feel like you can't qualify for a mortgage, it's always an if or a when. And that's the truth. No matter if you don't have a credit score now to qualify, if we have a soft pull in, we can give guidance without further impact to your credit to help you plan on how to get where you can qualify. That's number one. Number two, if you know you have a decent credit score that you can qualify for with a mortgage, just the credit score alone allows decent lenders to be able to start planning the appropriate mortgage for you. The credit score in and of itself can tell us what direction we should take for the best financial position we can put you in when it comes to your mortgage. It can dictate whether you qualify for a first-time home buyer's loan or whether conventional makes sense because your rate may be worse with a little bit lower credit score. Your mortgage insurance may be a little bit higher than what it would be for a government product. So it's not only just to know you qualify with having the mortgage score, but us being able to do a soft pull will allow, whether you're 6 months out, whether you're 3 months out, whether you're a year out, whether you're buying in 30 days, it allows us to get the baseline and start planning for the best mortgage type for your position and to start preparing financially for what that looks like when the time comes. So don't view credit as just a barrier to entry, but it's also the number one thing we need as a loan officer and a lender to start helping you plan and prepare for that financial decision you're going to make, right?
Another
man.
Well, I was going to say another financial decision you need to start planning for is who are you betting on in the Super Bowl? Because right now, I'm backing the Bills.
Let's go.
Look, I got to give props to your team. And, Dallas, who was my team, they beat the Bills down in the 90s, something fierce. However, Josh Allen, not only is he MVP this year, this guy does everything.
I'm out. There's a little bit of a season left, and I've seen Josh go into games where he just throws the football into places he shouldn't and gets picked. If he takes care of the ball and throws completions and is smart with it, they're going to, as long as they have the ability to score so many points, it doesn't matter what the other team does. As long as he takes care of the ball, then they're in a good position.
And I think this is Josh Allen 2.0 because the prior Josh Allen looked more like Brett Favre, where he would throw touchdowns and throw interceptions. This Josh Allen is tucking the ball and running, and he's fast and he's big and he can't get brought down. He's kind of like Ben Roethlisberger with speed.
Yeah.
And so this guy is just taking teams. I mean, they went to Detroit, put up almost a 50 burger on him. And, Detroit is no slouch. That was a hell of a game. It was exciting as anything.
They did it the week before with the Rams, too.
Yeah. I mean,
look, Josh, if you're watching this, buddy, look, I have your jersey there signed, my friend. You got that signed.
And is that a 4XL? Because I would wear that.
I'll get you one. If they win the Super Bowl, I'll find one for you.
I'll be there with you. I spoke to a bunch of friends. They're like, wait, I thought you're now with the Chiefs. I'm like, look, bottom line is, here's the truth. I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a life Cowboy fan. I'm not following them right now because they're not doing things that they should be doing. Until they switch management, like I said, and this is not a joke, until they switch management, I'm not buying anything else, Dallas Cowboys. I'm not backing them. I'm not paying to go to their games because I can't get behind what they're doing. And another thing, I heard rumors of they may trade Micah Parsons, which Jerry Jones denies. But if, in fact, they traded Micah Parsons this year and do not pay him, everything's off the wall, and I am finished. Because that is a generating – he is the Ohtani of football. You do not trade this character off your team. So there are special caveats to this Dallas Cowboy fandom I have. As far as the Chiefs, look, I'm going to root for the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. Once again, my reasoning, Andy Reid is no longer on the Eagles, and every time he wins a Super Bowl, it just sticks it to the Eagles. So the bottom line is I'm rooting for any team but the Eagles. So if a team other than the Eagles wins the Super Bowl this year, I'll be happy. I don't hate any of the other teams right now. I mean, even if Washington, Cowboys and Redskins, Commanders, always had a rivalry, among the top rivalries in football, but I don't mind them this year. They're exciting to watch. The Eagles are still arrogant as ever, from the coach to the players, the attitude, all my Eagle friends. It's just it's a attitude that I can't get with because, I'm not very cocky and, I used to be when I was younger, but you get older and you realize you're like, look, it's what you show. It's not what you talk about. It's prove it. Yeah. And I haven't seen the Eagles prove that they're as good as their record. They're squeaking by everybody. They almost lost to Carolina this past week. I mean, come on, man. Down to the end of the game and you almost lose to Carolina. Dallas goes to Carolina this past weekend and they blow them out. That's what you're supposed to do to Carolina. In Carolina. The Eagles squeak by Carolina in Philly. So don't tell me the Eagles are a good team. They're average at best. All my Eagle fans, friends watching this, I'm sorry. This is me. Is that
I think the league has turned into such a quarterback centric. Like if they show up and protect the ball and you've got some people around them, like, golf, I think golf is decent, but the first thing the Lions did was built an O-line. They put an O-line out. And if you're a quarterback, because, if in college, of course, I play quarterback, but if you're a quarterback and you're confident that you're not going to get hit in the back while you're looking where to place that ball, your completion rate, your ability to play the game goes up. And that's what Brady had too. Brady was a great methodical quarterback, but he had a great line. So he knew he could stand back there and take the time needed to deliver the football where it should go.
That's the whole reason the Eagles are doing as well as they are. Could you imagine if the Eagles' offensive line consisted of who the Cowboys have this year instead of who they have? The Eagles have the best O-line in football right now. They're all healthy, they're all playing together, and they're all pretty good. So take that offensive line away, that tush push or whatever you want to call that, tush shove, whatever, the brotherly shove, that wouldn't exist because you wouldn't have any linemen that know what they're doing. The Eagles have the best offensive line in football. They have arguably one of the best running backs in football. They have a quarterback that can squat more than anyone in football. He's not a great quarterback, but he gets first downs when they need a yard. Yeah. So there's a lot of things about them. They have Devonta Smith, decent receiver, A.J. Brown, a decent possession receiver. So on offense, they should be putting up 50 points a game, but they're not. Their defense is still average. It's not very good. I don't care what the stats say, best scoring defense and all. Who cares? That just means the opponent you're playing suck. A lot of turnovers. They're not very good. Yeah. But the Eagles do have, they have some great players. And that's why they are squeaking by these games they shouldn't be squeaking by. Yeah. But there's so much unrest and turmoil in that organization. Just watch the sideline every week they play. Head coach screaming, Jalen Carter's a thug. He should be in jail. And no, don't cancel me. He should be in jail. First of all, that was
you know how we are, dude. It's our opinions, and actually that can roll us into the next thing. But finish up, buddy. I want to tell everybody something here before heading on the holiday.
basically punched the lineman in the face when he wasn't anticipating a fight. I mean, you know what? If you want to do that, take the helmet off, drop the gloves, and let's get 5 for fighting like in hockey.
Yeah,
Because
go to the center, go to the 50-yard line, stay inside the logo, and do what you need to do.
Yeah, cage match.
Yep.
That's how you do it. Don't do that to a guy that's not expecting it, and you take an open hand, punch the dude. Come on, man.
That's always known to hit somebody that has a helmet on too.
On the sideline, he's laughing on the sideline. Sirianni's trying to come over to him, and his assistant coach stops the head coach from going over to him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was watching First Take and Get Up this week. Could you imagine if that head coach was Bill Belichick or Andy Reid, and the assistant coach tried stopping him from going over to the player?
Mm-hmm.
Get a handle. Get a handle.
Yeah, you know what? Real quick too, I think North Carolina, not because Bill Belichick's the head coach, but I think you're going to have to watch out for North Carolina moving forward because a lot of people, a lot of high-value high school kids and people that are looking to go to the league are going to start going there and landing there because Bill Belichick's the coach. He's going to have the ability to put people in.
He doesn't have to leave his couch. It's the only time in college history ever that a head coach does not need to recruit because he is the recruit. Right. Just Bill Belichick's the coach. I want to go there.
Crazy. All right, guys. So we're a little bit over on our time. I know we missed some, so we had a lot of sports talk to catch up with. Heading into the holiday season, I know that I'm celebrating Christmas. I know that Craig's celebrating Hanukkah. No matter what you're celebrating, we want to wish you guys Merry everything. We hope that you're surrounded by family, friends, those you love. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I want to wish everybody a Merry everything. And Craig, I'll let you wrap it up, brother.
Likewise, I hope you guys enjoy whatever holidays you celebrate. Spend time with your loved ones and stay safe out there. We will see you in the new year. Thank you. We appreciate you.